This old girl was my original first car. It's a 74 Fiat Wagon. You don't really see the wagon style. Get a good look at her. Haven't had tabs on it since '98. Tells you how long it's been sitting here. A couple things I did before I put it into storage. Pulled the spark plugs, put a little motor oil in there on the top, put the spark plugs back down with anti-seize in the threads. Otherwise you're going to have to be drilling and tapping your spark plugs, especially on some of these foreign motors where they use a lot of aluminum, and aluminum steel will really want to seize up. Make sure you got a good amount of antifreeze so the block doesn't freeze if it's going to be stored through winter, especially this thing was stored outdoors. Take you back here a little bit. If you look from the back here, like I said, she's pretty rare. A lot of people have Fiat Spiders, little two-door convertibles, and I've even seen a couple of the Saloons, which is their four-door sedan version. You don't see a lot of four-door wagons, and this is my old girl. Alright, even with all the precautions of using stable, and trying to start this thing when I came home at Christmas time and stuff like that. But what I end up having to do, see if you got any light under here. You can see I actually painted it green to kind of keep the surface rust off there. I had to drop the fuel tank and replace a lot of the old lines. Some of the emissions and the fuel vapor catches, these things were old ancient fuel lines, overflow of the fuel cap here that goes down into the tank. Like I said, I put fuel additive in here, but it's been over 10 years this thing's been sitting here with that gas. One of the things it did was the electric fuel pump got gummed up, replaced all these lines. I put a fuel filter right from the tank before the pump, and then we'll take you to the engine compartment. And then right before the carb, I put one in. And you can see, hoping you can see how dark that filter is right there at the bottom? That's that. We're gonna have to change these out a couple times as I put the gas through. I dropped the entire tank, cleaned it out, but there's still gonna be some gum in there. I actually used a can of seafoam in there to help pull the water vapor out and the gumminess. But even the carburetor, the fuel that's inside the carburetor, will get gummy. So if you ever store a vehicle, make sure to run it for a little while so that stabilized gas can get into the carburetor. Here's a little bit of the interior. Those are actual miles. Probably can't see it on my zoom in thing, but it says 90.6 miles. I was actually driving it when it flipped over 00000. And maybe someday you'll get to see this. There's another fire extinguisher I had in here as I was playing with the gas and getting it all ready. But this was my original car, guys. And if any of you met me in real life, you'll know that it's hilarious that such a big guy drove such a small car. A little seafoam action. Another trick I can give you, you've seen my four-way wrench before. I like carrying the four-way because more times than not I'm helping other people. And it obviously has 4 sizes of lugs. But at a glance, I paint the tip black. So at a glance I know exactly which one mine fits.